Morning, folks. Everything new under the sun. This is a bit of a warning, an economic warning. And if you have been paying attention over the last year, or even more since I started these prophecy updates, you'll note that one of the things. Let's see. You don't need to see the Bride of Christ image. That has nothing to do with this video. That was from my What Is series. But you'll note that economic collapse is coming. And it's something we've been talking about for a long time. We speculated, when it was going to come, how it was going to come, and I think we now see the initial conditions of it. I think we are into the slow downward spiral of the economic collapse. I think the birth pains have started in earnest. I think they're large enough now that we can call it. At least I would. And this is CNBC, your favorite mainstream media news site, and the Dow Jones is down 208 points this morning. And why are they down? Well, concerns over U.S. shutdown, and also bad news about the China trade situation. S&P is down 24 points, Nasdaq futures down 77. So volatility on the markets as we head downward. This is not getting better. And this is a warning to you. You should be ready now. This is the video where, at least one of the videos where I say, you know what? Now, these are still the good times, quote unquote. Now is the time to prepare with food and water and provisions, etc. Be prepared should you lose your job. Be prepared. There's stuff going on with PG&E. PG&E is getting ready for bankruptcy. That's let me go to that article here. This is a Zero Hedge article. PG&E shares crash 30% as CEO quits ahead of bankruptcy filing. Is PG&E the Lehman Brothers of the year 2019? So just like Lehman Brothers were kind of the first domino to fall in 2008, is PG&E the first large company? And it's going to affect a lot of people. I guess the government's going to step in and keep this going. But is this one of the first companies, first dominoes to fall? And then do we have a cascade of companies starting to go bankrupt as we head into what I believe is the economic collapse, which ushers in the world government, the mark of the beast system? And the economic collapse, I think, is also the reason why the U.S. is not in end-time Bible prophecy. Shares of the troubled California utility PG&E tumbled more than 30% Monday after its CEO Geisha Williams quit, following by the revelation made in an 8K filing on Monday morning that the utility, which is facing potentially billions of dollars in fines related to California wildfires, is planning to file for bankruptcy. PG&E has seen its shares plunge more than half since November after the state opened an investigation into the utility's role in the wildfires. The utility has already participated in one of the largest bankruptcies in U.S. history back in 2000 during California's energy crisis. Following the collateral call triggering downgrade to junk last week, rumors circulated that PG&E could inform its employees about bankruptcy plans as soon as Monday. So we have what could be kind of the first big company to go down as it relates to the economy and the situation. Again, not unlike the Lehman Brothers being the first domino to fall in 2008. Here's just a brief, a couple of headlines here, kind of driving home the point. And this is just from today. I mean, I could go back over the last several days and pick stuff, but these are coming out every day. ZeroHedge.com. Swimming in an ocean of debt. Gunlock sounds the alarm over $122 trillion in unfunded liabilities. So what are unfunded liabilities? Well, these are the promises to the electorate from the politicians about future money. So things such as healthcare in the future and pension funds in the future. So pensions for those aged 65 and over, for example. These are pensions and money promised to groups in the future. And these are unfunded. These are not funded yet. There's no, we don't know where the money's coming from yet, but they're just assuming that the economy is going to roll on as it is right now. He says after laying out the reasoning behind his considerably more pessimistic view on the U.S. economy, Double Line Capital founder Jeffrey Gunlock, whose flagship Total Return Fund outperformed the benchmark again in 2018, delved into some themes from this year ahead podcast during a roundtable discussion. Let's see. But an even bigger long-term threat to markets is emanating from supposedly safe market of U.S. Treasury debt. That's right, the debt is catching up to us, and that's kind of the the big story, and that's what's going to cause the collapse. The debt. As we've warned, and Gunlock has also highlighted, the risk posed by companies could soon become fallen angels is rising as the U.S. economy is swimming in an ocean of debt. It says, but though the risks posed by corporate debt are serious, during the roundtable, Gunlock was more focused on risk posed by ever-expanding U.S. debt, which he argued is even bigger than most Americans realize. And yes, there's $22 trillion in debt, much more than that, maybe up to $250 trillion in unfunded liabilities, debt, promises made based on an economy that isn't going to be around. Look at this, the upshot is that the debt has been going up a lot more than people think. And what's worse, according to Gunlock's calculations, the total unfunded liabilities for welfare programs such as Social Security amount to some $122 trillion, roughly 6 times the annual GDP. The answer was put forward by most politicians is that this is a long-term problem, and the day of reckoning can perpetually be delayed by more borrowing. And now, obviously, you can't borrow forever. Eventually, countries are going to call you on the worthless dollar and stop accepting the U.S. dollar as a currency to buy products because its value is going to be going downwards as they print money in thin air. And who is holding a lot of that debt? Well, China. So all China has to do to start and win World War III is to declare the U.S. dollar worthless and stop trading in it. That immediately causes hyperinflation, and the U.S. dollar returns to its value, its intrinsic value of 0, and you have World War III started and done, and you have economic collapse not only in progress but kind of done as U.S. dollars are worthless. Chaos and Mad Max scenarios circle the Earth at that point in time, because the whole Earth runs on U.S. dollars right now. And what is the key to a fiat currency system? A fiat currency system is based on confidence of the people using it. You have confidence that when you take a $10 bill out of your wallet, you're going to be able to trade it for some goods or some services. And if everybody loses confidence, if everybody starts saying, you know what, I don't know if this is worth as much as it was before, and so I'm not going to take this for my services. I'm not going to sell my loaf of bread for $10 because I don't believe it's worth as much as it was yesterday. Well, then you have hyperinflation that quickly escalates. It says a ratio of U.S. household financial assets to GDP has never been higher. Today, the ratio stands at 4.4x. In 1979, the dawn of history's greatest secular bull market, it was 2.3, roughly half where it is today. It goes on, and in these past 10 years, as the ratio jumped to 4.4x, households increased their financial assets by an amount equal to 1 times the U.S. GDP, which is $21 trillion. It goes on and speaks about the confidence loss in the system and the balance sheets growing greater, the debt increasing. It says Americans all want to get rich. We understand risk reward. We also get right, wrong, fairness, justice. In the past decade, virtually everyone who took reckless risk got bailed out. So the government is bailing out many right now. Practically no one at the center of the greatest financial fiasco since the Great Depression went to jail, it says. This undermined faith in the fundamental relationship between risk-reward. If there's no risk, then there can't be any reward. And people are seeing that no one's going to jail for any of this trouble, and so people are going to start pulling out of the system because it's not worth it anymore, and there's not going to be any gain available effectively as hyperinflation and that sort of thing takes off. So all sorts of trouble on the markets, and the markets are again down 194 points, 198 just went up a little bit as I was looking at it, and so this is the start of it. If you're not prepared now, spiritually and physically, you're not going to have a lot of time left. We don't know when this is going to come down, but know today, as of doing this video, you still have the ability to go to the supermarket and get milk, get bread. You won't have that option forever. when this thing comes down, and it will come down, all fiat currencies go back to their intrinsic value of 0, historically speaking. No fiat currency obviously has ever lasted forever. They always crash back to 0, and a new world fiat currency comes into power as they clean up from the destruction of the old fiat currency. And this is coming down the pipe, guys. So if you're not ready now, you're never going to be ready. And so this is a warning to you. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll leave it there, and we'll see you guys in the next video.